time for us to find out what's on his mind. Good morning, Matthew. Matthew Archbold, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we love lessons that we learn from you
Yes.
about child rearing and so forth.
Yes. And just your great insights into the world at large, Matthew.
Yeah. My parenting goes under the cautionary tale file, I believe.
Well, Matt, I was looking at your website. There are so many good things on here. I wouldn't even know which one to point to first. So, what's on your mind today?
As in any other week, there's so much good news and there's so much bad news.
Mm-hmm.
And, you try to focus on the good. So I saw the worst news first.
Okay.
Canada is set to make quoting the Bible essentially a hate crime.
Whoa.
Well.
Yeah.
Those poor baseball players in America, they better not go to Canada.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, there was a cardinal who came out pretty strongly against it, so good on him for standing up to it. But that is the truth. I mean, you're literally not going to be able to quote parts of the Bible outside of church and not feel the long arm of the law and taking you away. So it really is a crazy thing. And I always say, England and Canada, they're all just a couple of boxcars up, but we're all on the same train.
That's a good way to put it, too, because I don't know what's crazier, Canada or Great Britain.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. And there was one thing I put up where a UK cop yelling at a person that you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church, which was my favorite thing.
That is unbelievable. I mean,
it really is.
I would have been arrested many times because I'm usually out gardening singing, songs from church. So, wow, that's amazing.
Right. I mean, I should be arrested for singing church songs, but just for singing in general, in public,
It has nothing to do with the content. It's just the way they sound, right? Yeah.
just for hurting people.
I love it.
But the good news in this is exactly what you brought up, is the baseball players. This is really the first time we're seeing numerous baseball players, kind of push back against these political messages on their uniforms. And, by saying, so there was the pride flag, and they said, the Bible, they wrote the Bible quote about when God made the rainbow as a promise to not do the flood again.
Right.
And that was considered, a hate crime by many. And the Major League Baseball came down on them saying, you'll be fined if you, draw a Bible verse on your uniform again. But the thing is, and I've spoken to a number of PR people about this, and they said the thing that organizations don't want are bad stories. You don't want bad stories. And he said, if there are people in the organization standing up against it, and they're going to stand up against it every time, the organization will tend just to skip that whole thing because they don't want the bad story of division on the team.
It makes them look bad.
Yeah.
Right. So from these three baseball players, writing the Bible verse, it could have a massive impact, because and then a number of celebrities came out and said they'll pay the fine for these players.
That's
and I love this. We're pretending like baseball players are these poverty-stricken people. They're like, I'll pay the fine. Like,
wait a minute, he makes how much? Wait a minute.
Right. Yeah.
Right. They're making more than you guys actually, so don't worry.
Don't worry about them. Yeah. But you make such a great point, Matthew, that three guys. We're so afraid to stand up for things sometimes in our organizations. And, three guys come out and say, yeah, we're not going to do that. And it gives permission to other people to do the same thing. Yeah. And so then pretty soon people are saying, yeah, this pride stuff isn't as important as what we thought it was. Because I think they really did for a long time think everybody in the United States was all about Pride Month. Let's do it, And when they start to find out that they're not, well, then they don't know what to do with it. Like they start to back away. Stores, a lot of stores aren't making a big deal out of it anymore. So, we've got to, each of us can take a stand.
Yeah, and that was their end goal, to make everyone, on board with it, despite what our faith teaches us about gender and sexuality. And the thing is, they don't care if you believe it or not. Mm-hmm. They want you to believe it or be silent.
Yep.
And that's the thing we can't do. We can't be silent about this. And that's why I was glad to see in Canada the Cardinal up there, Frank Leo. He stood up, and I've seen so much legislation passed without a peep from so many bishops and cardinals, and it's so disturbing. Sometimes you look to their Twitter feed, and there's just it's like they're not engaging in the massive swings of the day. The big pitches that are coming down the pike, and they're just not swinging at them, and they're just. So I was very glad to see that. And then the other good news is that there's a Christian adoption agency that suddenly remembered it was Christian. So years ago, they had said they would relent and they would place children with same-sex couples. But they remembered their Christianity, and they just went back saying, no, we're restoring our Christian identity, and we're going to just place children in homes with a married man and woman.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. Like,
yes,
5 years ago, you would not have predicted anything like that.
Yeah. It really did look like we were on the crazy train quickly, that we were moving quickly in that. And I love one of your lines in that story. Translation, we're going back to the manufacturer's instructions. Sorry about the brief experimental phase. It amazes me how we just experiment with this stuff thinking we're going to come up with something better than what God had designed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but let's be honest. It really does come down to we're going to follow the New York Times editorial board or the Bible. And, the New York Times editorial board has no teeth. You know what I mean? It's not rooted in 2,000 years of thinking. It's not rooted in divine truth. These are just people in a room, very short-sighted people. I guarantee you, the New York Times is not going to last 2,000 years.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. As much advice as they give the Catholic Church, and quite openly and freely, you know what? It's it's ridiculous. It's like a 4-year-old giving advice to a 70-year-old. You're like, yeah, I think I got this. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't know if you've seen the movie Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's movie. I know I haven't, but people who have seen it have said that it's made me question my faith in Steven Spielberg.
That's right.
I like that, Ron.
I don't know how well
God
it's
bless,
doing.
guys. Thank you so much.
Take care, Matt.
CreativeMinorityReport.com. You need to check that out. Matthew Archbold, always great to have you on, and we look forward to our Thursdays.